The lighting is so appropriate for when we feel a spiritual awakening coming on. We feel like we are in this veil. We feel like there's a cloud of smoke and we're just kind of in this haze. And it looks exactly like what you're looking at. A haze, a veil. And when you're in an awakening, it brings something to light that was always there. But now, this whole funky energy that's around you will begin to lift. And once it does, it becomes clear. The clarity brings awareness to what it is you are being awoken to. But I really want you to just take it all in right now. What in your life is making you feel like this? Like a cloud of smoke, like a veil needs to be lifted. There's a change that's on your soul. Some of you have already tapped into it. You're quite aware of it. Some of you are trying to ignore it. When you're in this kind of a phase of your awakening, it's scary because you know that the atmosphere isn't the way it needs to be. When you look at this video, you would normally see a nice bright light on me. You would see it very clear. You could see my face very clear. It wouldn't be so dark. You wouldn't be struggling to see me right now. But that's what the struggle is. When you're in an awakening, you're struggling to get out of it. We follow 7 steps. I want you to get the book, 7 Steps to Master Any Spiritual Awakening. It will help you through every single awakening. And remember, your awakening is simply because you are the soul within your human. And you are awakening. You are waking up. You're being alerted to something that exists within the veil of life that you currently live in. So this whole atmosphere is the 3D. When you are feeling this funk that's around you, here's how it manifests. It looks like you waking up and being totally upset, depressed, grumpy, frustrated, irritated, that you've got to go to that job, that you've got no one there with you to wake up to, that you wake up sore, feeling stressed out, stuck, stagnant, that when you get to the job, you realize it's very toxic. When you have to interact with your manager, or you feel their presence, even before they come into the room, you dread them being near you. Let's say it's a relationship. Maybe it's family relationship. And you just don't want to be around that person. You are on the brink, or maybe you already have said, you know what, you're blood family, but I want nothing to do with you. Maybe it's abusive, physically, mentally, emotionally, financially. Maybe it's romantic. Maybe you're trying to figure out how to break up with the person that you're no longer in love with, or maybe you're just tired of being in a loveless marriage, or maybe it's kids. Maybe you're trying to really separate from a toxic bond between your parents, or you being the child, or you being the parent, or whatever it is. Maybe it's health, but it looks like a diagnosis, a prognosis. Feeling like you can't get healthy, feeling like you are stuck on medication and you can't get off of it. Maybe it's weight, feeling like everything you've tried, you just can't do it right. The weight won't come off. You're not converting fat into muscle. What's wrong with you? And you just feel down on yourself. Maybe it's someone that passed away. Maybe it's you're about to give birth or to conceive. Whatever it is, maybe you're going into your purpose, your mission. But something strange starts to happen. As you start going in the direction that I'm going to show you with right now, I'm going to show you where spirit automatically starts pulling you into, the veil begins to lift. And things start beginning to get clearer. Just like what you're looking at. So once you're aware, that's the first step, is awareness. And you'll find all of these steps in the 7 steps to master any spiritual awakening. I'll put the link down below, okay? Awareness. So what is it that is being highlighted in your life right now that you cannot shake? Maybe it's the fact that your significant other now wants a deeper connection with you. They want to spend the rest of their lives with you. And you feel the same, but maybe you're afraid and you want to run, but something's telling you not to face your demons and allow true love into your life. Maybe it's alternative medicine and therapies to make sure that you're safe or your children are not sick anymore. But that awareness is there. Now the second step is detachment. It's very difficult to detach from the way that we've done the 3D life. But as we detach from these patterns, the behavior, the just the fear-based energy of feeling like you have to stay in a connection that's toxic, whether it's your job, whether it's blood family, whether it's love, whether it's how you used to be, the relationship within yourself. Maybe it's breaking off from no religious umbrella or no sense of spirituality to a deepened, heightened relationship with Source. Detachment. That's the second step. And as you begin to detach, you start beginning to see that the veil is lifting. Things start becoming clearer. Just like you can see me in this video a lot clearer. You need to be vulnerable with this process. And so as you detach, in order for you to not directly go back to your past, it takes intervention. And divine intervention only happens when we're allowing it. Thank you so much, Spirit. Thank you so much, God. I'm open. Thank you for sending it to me. Thank you so much. I don't know what I need, but I thank you for giving it to me. I know all things with thee. I know all things are possible with thee. I know that everything's going to work out according to thy will and thy good pleasure. Please show me what to do. So before you even need to take action, we have to be vulnerable. We have to soften to where we need to go and what we need to know and what's going on. But we have to let it happen. And we have to release the control. So after we're able to do that, and we're not doing it all the way. Sometimes maybe, sometimes, not. But in my experience, vulnerability comes and we're still kind of hanging on to the past at the same time. We go forward in that moment of acceptance that we are going to be okay with being out of control with what's happening. See, remember, you're the soul within your human. And at vulnerability, which is step 3, you are simply allowing the universe to come in and pull you forward where you need to go. And it's almost like you're on like an escalator that is, I think, lateral it would be. And you're just kind of going, or vertical, just kind of going. Reminds me of the Jetsons, this 70s cartoon that I used to love to watch. Anybody else know about the Jetsons? Comment down below. And they would go on this conveyor belt. And it would just be an automatic thing. You would just walk. So once you're vulnerable enough to go with the flow, enlightenment happens. This aha moment means that, oh my gosh, things are clearer. Whoa. Okay, wait a minute. Now I can see this clarity that always existed, but I was in such a funk of this automated, matrix driven obstacle course that I was calling life, that was only allowing me to go certain places and do certain things and just go to a certain point in my life. And I was always hitting the wall, just hitting the wall, hitting the wall. And now I can see where I can go straight through that wall. I can literally go through it. Before, I kept hitting it. But now it's clearer now that I can literally start going through it. The aha moment. You understand a little bit more about what's going on with you. Maybe not so much that you can explain it to anybody, but that's why in the 7 steps to master any spiritual awakening, if you allow me, I'll explain it for you. See, there's a part in the book that I actually speak to who you're going to gift that book to. So get a copy for yourself and then get a copy for whomever else is questioning you. Because one of the most maddening things during spiritual awakening is trying to explain it to someone else that doesn't understand it, and when you don't even understand what's going on inside of yourself. Avoid that stress and that struggle bus by allowing me to do it for you. After all, that is a part of your investment in your book. Use it. And use the book as your guide. That's the way it was written. So there's questions in the book, 7 Steps to Master Any Spiritual Awakening, that will help you really connect with Source and not involve anyone that doesn't need to be a part of your spiritual journey. And what you'll find on this journey is, as you go through the 7 steps, you'll go back and forth through them. And you might go back to step 2, detachment. Because people that you're detaching from, behaviors, actions that you used to take, likes, activities, geographical locations, jobs, there's going to be tests that are trying to bring you back. So it's going to get foggy again. It's going to get hazy. You're going to need some help to keep going forward to bring full clarity. And then before you know it, the light begins to shine and you start getting a lot more clear on where it is you're going and what Spirit is doing for you and making happen in your life. And you just start going with the flow a little bit more. And you start making things happen that are blessing you and even blessing people that you love, people that love you. Now, let's really quick, before I end this video, go through the 7 steps, and I'll apply them to, I'll give you an example of how I've applied them in my life so that you can have a greater understanding, and make sure you get your own copy of the book. All right? 7 Steps to Master Any Spiritual Awakening. So, let's see. My health. I was diagnosed with systemic lupus, fibromyalgia, degenerative disc, and rheumatoid arthritis. I was given a prognosis of death, and that if I ever got pregnant, I would certainly die, and so would my baby. And that obviously is a lie. But at the time, I was totally freaked out, paranoid. I didn't know how to tell my family. I didn't have any children. I felt alone. I didn't know what to do. Awareness. Okay, I was born to be a mama. I knew that God had already told me, your children are going to call you mama, and you are going to have 2, and this is the way it's going to go. And I said, okay, that's my awareness. But my awareness also was, okay, I've got these conditions that doctors are telling me is really a death sentence, in that I'm not going to have the blessing that God told me I would always have. Detachment. Detachment from whom? What God was telling me and what I believed in, or what the doctors were saying. I detached from the doctors and I attached to my faith. So I starved fear and I fed my faith. The third step is vulnerability. I was scared out of my skin because family, friends, doctors, articles, studies, my research, all of these things were telling me that the doctors were right. All of these people, I love you, I just want you to be okay, listen to the doctors. What? Get on the steroids, get on the Plaquenil, take the gabapentin, do all this stuff that was associated with death because people that I was friends with were popping up no longer here, and those synthetic drugs were the factor, the common denominator there. And so fear was all around. But I also knew what God had told me. And I knew that if I fed faith, then I had to be starving fear. It wasn't going to be the opposite. So I decided to be vulnerable and open. Divine Source, please show me my spiritual guidance the way you want me to receive it. And I thank you so much the way that I can receive it, the way that I need it. Please show me what to do. How do I heal? How do I heal my own human? How do I heal my body? How do I make this happen? I know you showed me that I'm going to be a mama. My kids are going to call me mama. I'm going to be okay. My baby's going to be born okay. I'm going to raise my kids on earth, not in heaven. And I know with you all things are possible, but I don't know the how. What do I do? Vulnerable. Just enough to hear my spiritual guidance. And there's the aha moment. So, awareness, detachment, vulnerability, aha moment, enlightenment. Whoa! Okay, so step 4, I'm receiving enough spiritual guidance to pull me forward, or fear that can pull me back. I made a choice to go forward. Okay, 5. Now, acceptance. That's the 5th step, is acceptance. I either accept where I'm at, what I'm doing, where I'm going, what I'm supposed to be able to achieve, what I know I can achieve, what my goal is, or I can go back, stay stuck, stagnant, depressed, and I can ultimately make myself so sick enough that I am not here and I never fulfilled me being a parent, a mother, which was the biggest, it still is, it's the biggest blessing that I believe we could ever be gifted. I kept going. There was no turning back for me. I kept going. So what did I need to do? I kept following my spiritual guidance. I knew how to follow my spiritual guidance because that's the way that I live my life. And so I took that, each step, Spirit would put a puzzle piece together and I would know what to do. And I did it. All the while feeding faith. All the while hearing, I think you just need to do this. I think you just need to do that. Falling on my face and getting back up after family telling me, I think you need to give up on that. I think you need to do this. I just want to see you okay. I just want you to be careful. Okay, I get it. Doctors, I think you really need to have back surgery every 6 months. Your MRI is saying you need to have back surgery. Okay, well, God's showing me where people have already had that and are suffering worse than when they had it done. So no. So I continued on step 5, acceptance. And step 6 is taking action. So I decided to continue to take action, to move forward, closer to my goals, manifesting my dreams and making them come true. My intention was on my goal. What was I manifesting? And the universe conspires. Truly, we are co-creating with Divine Source. We really are blessed to do that. We are that powerful. You are that powerful. So as I took action, I realized there were different things that I won't go into in this video, but I was being guided spiritually to do in order to make my dreams come true, and I did it. No one, you know, really supported me on that. My mom did mostly. There were times that she didn't. And until I started seeing success, because people that they love you, some people just are jealous and envious of you, and some people just don't care. But the people that really cared about me really didn't want to see me hurt. And they had experienced stuff with me that I was really hurt by. And to know that that was a death sentence that doctors were giving me, it scared them too. So I took action and I was doing these things and everything was falling into place. And all of a sudden, confirmation, the seventh step. Um, the nurse came out. Why didn't you tell us you were pregnant? What? Pregnant? Because I would tell you if I was pregnant. You're pregnant. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. Come back. So that's how she did it. She did this little thing. Come back. Come on. And I went into the little area where the nurses were, and she held up the thing, the pregnancy test stick in my sample. Okay, that's how tripped out it was. She was like, "Why didn't you tell us?" Because it was a big celebration. Because I was telling everybody, "Listen, I'm a mama. I'm manifesting, and I'm doing this and that." And so my doctors knew, my nurse, all the nurses knew, and so within that whole process of enlightenment, I knew that I had people on board because I was receiving the visions of people celebrating me and my success, and knowing that and knowing that it was happening. And so confirmation was, okay, if I could do this, then I could do something else, and I could do the next thing, and I could master my spiritual awakening every single time by using these steps. So that wasn't the first time that I've done it. It definitely wasn't the last. It won't ever be the last. We go through many, but those are the steps, and that's how it played out in one area of my life. So with health, I have gotten to the point where years ago, the rheumatologist told me, we don't need to see you anymore. Don't see it. We don't see the lupus. We don't see the fibromyalgia active. You don't have symptoms anymore. Your back is healing itself. You definitely don't need back surgery. And your medical markers and your lupus went down to the point where we don't see it. What? So I know that these steps work, and I know that through God everything is possible. So I hope that this has helped you. Definitely comment down below and tell me your story as well. I love y'all, and don't forget, go get the book and gift the book to someone else, because I know as well as you do that you're trying to beat it into somebody's head about spiritual awakening. They'll be ready when they're ready. Love you.